What's up, fam? Extraordinary Life with Elijah. And this week, my goodness, got a lot on my mind. It's not the first time I've had this experience in trying to record these videos. Oh man. This week, two of my beautiful friends, whose names I will keep to myself at this point in time, are my extra and I am the ordinary. I had a beautiful conversation with two of my friends recently, and they shared difficult things with me. One of my very first episodes on this channel that I told you guys I have been graced to be able to see beauty in the midst of some very difficult things that I don't know if it's unique only to me, but God has definitely given me an increased grace there. And part of that Scripture says to share your burdens with one another, and in so doing, fulfill the law of Christ. And I think that's so beautiful that I have a gift of mercy, and misery loves company, and mercy is glad of the invitation. So anytime that people tell me hard things, I always tell them I'm so encouraged by their trust in me that they would divulge difficult things to me, and two, that it's such a blessing to me because in sharing their difficult things with me, that I then have the ability to be positioned to receive grace for them. So that means in them sharing their burdens with me and I bearing that with them, that we're together fulfilling the law of Christ. Therefore, why would we not share hard things with one another when we get to bring fullness to God's manifestation in the earth through Jesus? My friends shared some difficult things with me, and as they started talking about that they said that in their marriage that they had discovered that a lot of the things that each of them do is a polar opposite to the other. They're like, we do things so differently that we don't feel like we have anything in common at all. And they are very discouraged by that. That's very difficult to walk through. And I agree 100% that the tensions of trying to figure out how destinies match, and especially wherein they're so incredibly divergent from one another in the physical, can be incredibly hard. It can be incredibly frustrating. However, my very first celebration, as soon as they said it, was, well, good. That means that you're both needed in this covenant relationship. If both parties are exactly the same and there's no differences, then one person in this team isn't needed. So right off of the bat, I was encouraged to hear, wow, we have very divergent gifts that are coming together for maximal effect. Now, as I prayed into that, though, throughout the following couple weeks to say, God, I pray that you would give me grace, give me insight, give me understanding to help bring your grace and your hope and your peace and your restoration to this in their journey, that God began to speak to me about the beauty of my life coupled with Jesus's. In the book of Ephesians, it talks about how Jesus is our bridegroom and we are the bride. Now, as you remember that, I stepped into this place of hearing my friends tell me that we're so incredibly different that we don't have anything in common. Jesus began to speak to me about how that is such a hopeful thing. I remember Jesus' words in, I believe it's John 15, where he said, aside from me, nothing is possible. My capacity, all impossibility. Your capacity, Elijah, nada. The beauty of that is that by his Spirit, he began to speak to me how hopeful of a statement that is. If there was one thing that was possible for me to do in the kingdom by myself in my own strength, that would mean that there was some element where the fullness of Jesus's infinite person would not have space, not have a room in my life to be contained within me. What he's telling me is, Elijah, we are so incredibly different that you are finite, I am infinite, you are stuck within the possible, and I am accomplishing the impossible. In his statement of that, what that means is that I have infinite hope of being filled with the infinite intimacy of Jesus. Now, I hope that is making sense to you. I know this is a wild, crazy, complex thought, but we've been saying from the beginning, if you want simple thoughts, do not watch my channel. I don't do simple thoughts. My brain exists within complexity. And I love it. Oh my goodness. If you only knew, if you only knew. Think about it this way. If we go back to my friends and them telling me that they're so incredibly different, that they don't do anything the same, and that it's discouraging them, that it's causing their hope and their strength in their covenant relationship to be compromised. The reality in Jesus, though, is that that is the most hopeful position to be in possible. When infinite incapability is paired to infinite capability, the end result is that there is a full flow of the infinite to fill the finite. That is such a hopeful statement. It is such a hopeful statement, because in Jesus saying, Elijah, aside from me, nothing shall be possible, then what Jesus has committed to is imparting the fullness of himself to me, such that I can have from him the fullest measure of himself as possible for me to contain. Friends, I hope that is encouraging to you. Wherever you are in your life right now, my declaration to you is that our Father knows the good works that he has for you to do, that he's built them into you, and that he has established them, that he has worked them into your person in the secret place, and that he has written all of them out before one of them has come to be. In his declaration that nothing is possible aside from him, that his call to accomplish the impossible is paired then with his ever-present person to impart to you the power to accomplish every good work that he has destined your person and your purpose to accomplish. Guys, I am so incredibly distracted right now that I finished my video and did not do my outro. So I'm driving back to the park to do that. So I'm back. Yeah. At the park. I'm telling you, it's fierce. I found $1 while I was here. A Sacagawea dollar piece, this guy. If I had $1 for every time that I was distracted by a thought or encounter with God, I would probably be a billionaire. If you subscribe to what I am doing, then hit the button, hit it and then get it, hit the bell as well, so you get notified with the new content. And if you loved this video, you didn't just like it, then hit the thumbs down button. I pray blessings on your day. I love you guys lots, and I will see you in the next video.